We'll see. Let's dig in and start with
Yeah,
J.K.
let's start the
Dobbins
tape.
versus Wisconsin here.
Is this the first time around or the second time?
I believe this is the first game.
Oh yeah, 6-1, 7-0. This is the first time around.
Ah,
What are you doing?
hey, relax. So we got an outside zone.
Not a lot going on there.
No.
Definitely not a lot going on there.
All right, Nick.
Well, if you go back to last night,
Yeah.
yeah, I
It's-
think he's trying to do too much here, and that's something that's the thing that people don't understand with running backs. There's a lot that's going on within playing within what's going on, for the play design, being patient, being creative. There's so many things that happen. You can see some running backs that get frustrated and they just try and do their own thing.
Yeah.
Here, I think he should have kept pressing outside probably a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. There wasn't
Ultimately-
much going on.
Ultimately, you'll see that with this game in particular. The first quarter, he actually doesn't have a great game, but you can tell he gets in a rhythm as the game goes on, and performs much better as he goes.
So like, if you go back here,
Yeah, hold on here. It's being a little touchy. It's jumping back 5 seconds. It normally
you
doesn't
stop
do that.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, go back when he's on the blue line on that play.
Okay.
Okay, so here, I believe it's 3rd and 1. So I understand why he fits it up inside here, but you can look at this gap over here and B gap on the left, and he doesn't go there. That's where the big play will be. And right here, you can really see that if he bounces it here, there's a bigger play, but he just converts. I'm okay with him converting there because that's what you do as a running back and get minimal yards, but he potentially bigger play was there. Dobbins is always under control and under balance. I think that's his best trait. It allows him to cut at any time. I'm not one that thinks he's an elite athlete, but I do think that he can cut at any time because he's not running out of control. I think Cam Akers can be a little out of control and not anticipate, but I think Dobbins is a quicker processor.
Yeah, I agree. He seems to be a very decisive runner too. When he picks where he wants to go, he goes now. Like here's a good example.
This is a
of
much
that.
better run here. Go ahead and keep it going just a little bit further. So you see, he could turn this up outside. I actually personally like that he took this inside because you see 76 there has his man sealed, and then you have, I believe that's the safety. I didn't get a look at it ahead of time, but up at the top of the screen on the 40-yard line there. I like that he turned this up here and got yardage. I don't know. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. He could have went either way. And like I said, the quick processing, he read that block. The guy had outside leverage on him, so he cut inside. And I also like there when there was 3 guys, he at least tried to go way inside, or way outside instead of just running straight and lowering his shoulder, which I don't like all the time because give yourself a chance.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of unnecessary there.
Yeah, probably could have kept his shoulders square and just bounced with his feet. But either way, I mean, he got to the hole that he needed to get to, I believe, here.
Yeah, like someone like Benjamin, he spins a lot. I know some coaches loathe that because when you spin, you create unnecessary exposure to the football and more fumbles can be prone because you don't know where a guy's going to hit you from.
I'm actually a guy that does not like the spin move as well. And I even remember from playing, you get a little bit disoriented when you're spinning too. You lose that ability to be able to see what's happening ahead of you, and you kind of lose that vision downfield. So I'm not a big fan of spinning unless like absolutely necessary, forced. I don't really like it.
Why doesn't he cut left here?
Ooh. Yeah, he probably could have. 2nd and 6, so you're wanting to get at least 4 yards here.
My rule is always 3 yards for running back, no matter the blocking. So,
Yeah.
But I mean, 4 would be nice too.
We have
But yeah,
quite the comment over here by Weagle. Let me make sure I have a bookmark here. Able to power through contact to pick up important yards. Doesn't seem incredibly fast enough. Great lateral agility. Definitely agree with everything you've said so far.
Ooh, look at that. A slot rep.
Yeah, I think that's a good assessment, Weagle. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm sorry. I missed the video here.
You're fine. You went back. Just
Okay.
keep going forward.
Yeah, the Vimeo is skipping more than it typically does tonight. I don't know if they changed something or what. Skipping by like 5 seconds each time.
Yeah, this next one's his slot rep, and we'll
Okay, I'll let it play.
keep going forward.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's kind of interesting in the slot.
Yeah, good get
It's a
off
decent
though.
route actually.
Mm-hmm.
He is actually a very good route runner, and he's gotten a little bit of a knock lately for bad hands, which is not the case at all. He actually has very good hands, but it was because he had a drop in the football playoffs there, the college football playoffs, and I think that's sticking in everybody's mind.
Yeah. What have you done for me lately, right?
Yep.
I was gonna say War Eagle too. That's crazy. Weagle is short for War Eagle. Good push here by the line.
See right there, at least he tried to go outside here after he gets through this initial wave. He tries to cut left to avoid him. He doesn't do it, but at least I like the idea. That's the idea that you want.
He probably
took on
gets a
half the
couple extra
defender.
yards because of it.
He took on half the defender, and that's one that you potentially could break. So I like that decision.
Jared, obviously he looks good in a zone running scheme. Do you think he would look good in other schemes, or do you think he's scheme dependent?
I don't think he's scheme dependent. I think he could fit into any scheme. He's that good of a running back.
What about you, Nick? You think
Well,
you think he's stuck to one scheme, or?
Well, me, I think it depends a little bit. I don't think he's as much scheme dependent, but his size is a concern for me. So he weighed in similar to
That was a really good
Benjamin.
catch, by the way.
Yeah,
similar
able
to
keep his
Benjamin,
feet.
similar to Anthony McFarland, and those guys are thought of as third down backs or change of pace.
What did he
backs.
weigh in at? 213?
No, 208, 209. They were all 207 to 209.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I missed that
did
one.
he slim down? Is that his playing weight? That's one concern I have.
The difference for me, and I think that is a valid concern. It's similar to what we talked about when we looked at CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb might be maybe on the scales a little bit slighter, but he doesn't play that way. J.K. Dobbins doesn't play that way, and I think that might be the difference. Now, granted, it's different at the next level. Guys are bigger, faster, stronger, but he doesn't play like a guy under 210 pounds.
Right. And I give more leeway, I think, in the weight at receiver than what at running back, where you're going to take the pounding. But again, you have a Philip Lindsay. You have guys that make it work.
What did Sanders weigh in at?
I don't remember.
Sanders.
I think Miles Sanders.
I thought Barry.
What did Barry Sanders weigh in at? No, Miles Sanders. They have a similar body type to me, so that's why.
I'm going to guess he's 215.
I have no idea what he weighed in at the combine. I'd be curious to see.
So I think this is an important question here. Risen Phoenix says, where do you draw the line as a running back between taking what the play gives you versus making that extra effort to get that big play? Play dependent. So I'll answer that one first. I think that you have to pick the situation. If you're trying to make a big play when it's third and short, if you're trying to make the big play and you're losing yardage, then it's not okay. If you only get a couple of yards and try to make the big play, I'm okay with it versus a 4-yard gain. But you have to show that you consistently can make the big play, and you can't always cut back. That's where a lot of the big plays are, or you cut back or bounce to the outside. Someone that routinely does that, teams are going to adjust, and it's not always going to be there. So I think that you have to pick your spots. You can't consistently try to do that.
No, I agree with you.
Good run here.
I don't know that I would make such a big divider between taking what the play is and making the big play. I think as a running back, it's a little bit different than the quarterback. Like there are times as a quarterback, like you have to take what was given to you. You can't push the ball downfield in a particular situation. You can't, the defense just wouldn't allow it in that spot. I don't think that's necessarily the case always as a running back, because I think you're always looking to make a big play. You're always looking to make a guy miss. granted, yes, there are, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. You got to make sure you get that first down, so you might not bounce it outside. But even within that, you're still looking to break a tackle and get through that line and get into the secondary and break that front 7.
5'9", 209. Someone in this chat said. That doesn't really worry me too much, to be honest. I think he plays a little heavier than that, but I mean, I don't know that.
Man, Chris Olave is a good player.
He just looks like he does.
As this is going on. No, I agree, but I'm just saying if some people have concerns about the other ones, they don't have concerns about him, and I'm just like, well, I know how you play, but I think his power was more underwhelming for me than I anticipated. I know there's a couple of games here at the end of the year, and we really focus on those. As Garrett said earlier about that drop that he had, that early in the year he didn't get as much power, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's not always there.
Yeah. See, with Dobbins, I don't think he's necessarily like powerful. I think he's really good at using his body and like leveraging his body in order to gain more yards. But I wouldn't call him like powerful by any means. Does that make sense?
No,
that makes perfect sense.
He's a little more of like a slasher, I think. Man, Olave.
He's all over this tape.
Dude, he's so good. He's so underrated too. People aren't even talking.
See, I love how he hits it right here. He just goes.
All right, yep. I do think that's
honest,
what he's known for right there.
Now go back. If you're being honest, this is a huge hole right here.
It
Humongous.
is
for sure.
Humongous hole. Look at that. So like he hits it, yeah, but that's a huge hole.
Yep, it is.
And he read it well to not bounce that outside.
Anyone
to cut
could hit
that. But here, go a little bit further. This is what makes him special. It's these kind of things. I mean, he can make guys flat out miss him in the open field, and that's pretty special.
No, okay. Let me ask you this:
consistently
Garrett. If he does not make that safety miss, I think there's a problem. I mean, that guy's 15 yards away. He's making a move at 5 yards away. I think most running backs should have made him miss.
Should
that play was like it's deemed like a really good play. I think that's like kind of an expected play.
Really?
Am I wrong? A huge hole and a safety from 15 yards away.
Absolutely. But and it might be different if it was just this play only, but that's something that he does on a regular basis where in the open field and they're not huge. It's not the Clyde Edwards-Helaire where he's making these massive like juke spin moves. They're usually pretty subtle compared to the reaction of the defense and how bad he beats the defender. But I think he's just very good at, you mentioned it earlier, being under control, making a good quick movement, and then making a big play in the open field because of it. Ooh,
that's a hell of a run right there.
Yeah, like right there.
Best run of the game.
This is a more impressive run than the other one was for me.
Oh, for sure. This is the best run of the game so far.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because right there,
stiff arm.
Yeah.
Well, he showed patience. He like hesitated and then did that, and then right here he hesitates to add more yards. So
sit down,
hesitate, then lower shoulder.
Yeah, sets this guy up.
And then here, even he a lot of guys would just run out of bounds. He doesn't, stays in bounds and gets another 5 yards. That's, to me, that's really good football.
And he created that hole there. There really wasn't much of a hole there. And that's something that I like to see is the ability to be able to create as a running back. Because not everybody can create. You know, if you get stuck with a bad offensive line, there's guys that sometimes just can't make something happen out of it.
Now, I would also say that was a bad tackle attempt by that linebacker.
For sure. He was overextended, didn't have his feet underneath him.
Sets this guy up nice here, the safety.
So going back to what you were saying before, Garrett, I think that Dobbins, and I talked to this about Ray and with you guys earlier today, I think Dobbins utilizes his athleticism more than most backs. Like he gets the most out of what he has. And I think he's a really efficient or effective mover on the field too. He doesn't waste a lot of steps. He doesn't waste a lot of time. And that's, I think, makes him a lot better because I don't think he's the level of athlete of Taylor, of Swift.
I agree with that.
But I think he utilizes everything well on the field, which I compare that to. I think that, you know, there's other backs before that have done that, you know.
He's getting some wide open lanes in this game.
I know.
He is.
Another nice catch.
He also did
here.
against Clemson too. That's a great catch.
And I know he doesn't run the guy over here or anything, but it's little things like this where he's lower than a defender. He does that pretty consistently, and that's what I mean by like using his body and leveraging his body the right way.
Yep. Pad level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said Miles Sanders 5'11", 211. Dobbins
So he's
is
taller,
5'10",
about the same
209.
weight.
Yeah. Again, he's low here. Just the low man. Carries forward a couple extra yards. Just little things.
One thing that's not talked about the running back position in general is the ability to get better as the game goes on. Because when you're running the football towards the end of the game, that probably means you have the lead. And if you're able to ice out the clock because you're only improving as the game goes on, that's huge, and that's what you need out of your running backs. You need them to be able to milk the clock. You need them to be able to take the game over. And so when I see guys, I actually had a stat for 2018. I need to look into it for 2019. AJ Dillon. I know we don't like him, but he had like 75% of his yards in the first half and only like 25% in the second half, which was very concerning for me, especially for a power back. So I like to see running backs be able to get in a rhythm and get better as the game goes on.
How you guys feeling about this film here? You guys want to check out a different game or?
No, I mean, this is a game that a lot of people hype this one up.
It's just a little grainy. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, gotcha.
I think this game's pretty overrated, for being honest. So
he got banged up too.
Well, he did, but I'm saying there were some huge holes and some bad defense, and people are gonna hype up his numbers here.
Let's check it out.
Be ready for me to talk about that. Is all I'm gonna say.
Be a jerk.
That's all right. Nice play here. Good balance.
Yep.
Again, he's low. He at the point of contact, drops his center of gravity and gets low.
And to keep your feet on that, that's tough to do.
He does it all the time.
Yep.
It's probably the best part of his game. That and elusiveness.
I like his balance the most.
Olave.
Three good qualities.
I'm still. It's tough for me to watch this game as a fan. Like,
what's up, Kyle?
This game.
Who's over here?
Mr. Kyle. Did your interview with T.O. on your recent podcast? That was so good, man. I love that podcast episode.
I haven't listened to it yet.
If you haven't yet, go check out Fantasy Pro's recent podcast with Terrell Owens. Gives you some insight on Tua too.
Dang it, I didn't finish up that write-up yet, Kyle. Sorry about that, man. I gotta do that.
Oh yeah, I gotta do mine too.
When do you need that by? Let me know.
While we're here.
Yeah. So like right there's not much I don't think he could really do.
Yeah, he slips.
You know, I mean cutting.
Keep your feet, son.
I don't think he could have made that outside.
Keep your feet. All right, sorry.
Fastballing. Didn't really have to do much there.
No.
Yeah, that's another part of his game we haven't really seen too much here, but the film that I've studied, he does a nice job in pass pro.
It's
okay,
and I'm a huge. Oh, here's the play. Yep.
Here we go.
Oh.
It's a huge hole. Defense didn't play it well. That was a bad angle by a DB. Made it pretty easy.
Yeah, he gives the D end a little shimmy here at the beginning.
Still making big plays in big games. Oh, for sure. Way over.
Come on.
It's a big play in a big game. Let's also watch Isaiah Simmons, though.
Oh, my
How
God.
much he closes that gap.
I know.
Isaiah Simmons
watch it from this angle.
That dude is not human, man.
Jared, come on. This is...
I'm talking about Simmons.
Okay, you can. This is not an amazing run.
Nah, I mean, he made a play he should have made. Like, he hit
Watch
it.
this end. You're going to tell me this end's going to make the tackle? Come on. No.
I mean, Cam Akers probably keeps it going straight there.
He did. I mean, he did have good vision there at the line of scrimmage.
That and just to see the cutback.
The cutback, the original cutback was good. The safety angle was terrible. That was easy. But at the initial line of scrimmage, he was able to get skinny there, and the defensive end had contained, so he had to make sure he stayed outside, and he got that gap.
Yeah, and
but I agree, the safety angle was terrible.
Zach Moss gets hawked there by Simmons.
Oh, for sure.
Well, I mean, only Dobbins runs a 4.32 or whatever the heck people think he runs. Don't think so.
What the hell?
Hey, it was pretty close to McLaurin.
Cleveson, anyone else here naked right now? What?
I am not. I am not naked.
Pants are on over here.
If Rich was in the house, he's probably naked.
Probably. I missed what he did on that last play. I didn't even see it.
He did nothing.
Was he in pass protection? Yeah.
Yeah, missed.
He
missed
missed
the
the
cut.
Not a good
guy.
angle. Nope. Not good.
He tried to cut and missed him.
Yep.
I did not find his pass pro to be anything special.
Oh, I think I started talking
Oh,
about it in that game. That play happened. I think it was inconsistent. There were times where he showed the ability to be able to. I don't know if he against better competition didn't do as well, or if he lost concentration because he wasn't always consistent in how he looked in his pass protection.
Like right there, I didn't find him attacking. I found him to be waiting more
He would wait
consistently than I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Just go after the guy.
You know who does have great pass pro though? My boy DJ Dallas.
Oh God, here we go.
He-
DeAndre Swift, good pass pro.
Yes, very good pass protection.
DJ Dallas is good in pass pro though, for sure.
I'm not drafting that guy anywhere. You guys can have him.
You're drunk. You
I
haven't
didn't
even
say
looked into
that.
him enough yet. If you don't like him, that means you haven't.
Go watch
watched
the
enough
Miami
tape on
game.
him
Watch this Miami game.
yet.
Okay,
He
wide
plays for
open hole.
Miami.
Wide
He
open
plays for
hole.
Miami. Every game is Miami when he's playing.
Wide open hole, but he's showing the ability to at least break it in the open field. If you were to take away a positive,
I mean, and then he turns there. Okay, so that's a huge hole, for being honest.
For sure.
Huge.
it is.
Everyone hits that. DJ Dallas hits that. AJ Dillon hits that.
You're saying that
Benjamin.
like DJ Dallas isn't good.
AJ Dillon would have ran straight into
at
the
that.
guard's back.
And then when he runs, I think he comes back at an angle, and it's kind of a bad angle by that, because the one DB gets in way number one catches him.
Josh Johnson, Furious George, is better
And
than
then they catch
DJ
him.
Dallas.
So you watch the one
stop.
DB here. The one is going to get him, and then the other DB gets in the way. 12 gets in the way of him, so he can't catch him. And then they catch him from behind. Still, the 4-3-2. Where's it at?
He's not a 4-3-2. We all know.
That's what people do. Look at this hype board on Ohio State.
I know.
I do
bro.
think you'll run in the 4-4s though.
4-4.
Probably at a pro day though.
You know? I think on tape he looks just as fast, if not faster, than DeAndre Swift.
Who ran a 4.48, right?
Good job.
That's what I'm saying. He's just as fast, if not faster.
Weaving his way through traffic here, finding it.
See, I like this run. There you go.
Good
Get small in a hole, under balance to make that cut. That's a tough cut because he got outside there, got under control, and then cut upfield. That's a good run.
Oh man, that's the one they called incomplete. They're after reviewing it.
Yeah, I'm just here for the Wayland
This
takes. People
play-
just like how I hate so much.
Can't believe they overturned
You
this
are a
shit.
jerk.
I'm an Ohio
Hey.
State fan.
Garrett,
What?
DJ Dallas or Josh Johnson?
They're both great.
Oh, he dropped it, Jared.
Yeah, but his knee was down as he had control.
Oh. That's control.
No, shut up. We're better than them.
This is like the best game. You guys are so hyped. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
I don't know
huge for
why you
Ohio
picked this
State.
one, Jared.
I cried.
And I'm just like,
He drops this shit too. I'm gonna kill him.
Yep. He had the two
Dude,
bad plays in a row.
watch this game only. Terrible hands. Dobbins is a one and two down back only.
Shut the hell up.
You didn't see those first two catches. You are blind.
Ohio State guys over here.
Yeah, I mean Dobbins is a good receiver. You got to make that play though.
Yep.
That's 6.
I cost him the title with that.
I'm just here for Wayland takes. Don't feed his ego.
Now I'm just gonna do more. So I don't mind that there. Nothing there. He's trying. You know what I mean? He's sifting through instead of just running through
Yeah,
a guard like Dylan would.
that's exactly what I was about to say. Nothing doing again.
No, not on him.
Clemson actually didn't have a bad defense overall on the season.
No.
Who?
Clemson didn't have a bad defense. They actually had a very good defense.
Surprising after
season.
they lost all those guys.
I know.
Wayland hate takes.
I
Yeah,
just think
so
I'm a
J.K.
realist.
Dobbins got banged up in this game, and he ended up coming back.
Well, do you want to go to another game then? I don't want to hear the
No.
he's banged up.
Um,
Well, he's down again.
yeah, just
Go-
something
go
to
another
note.
game. Go to another game.
Well, we have a hard cutoff tonight, so yeah. Putting your head
Run back
down,
one more time for me.
just for you, Garrett.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. Are you gonna say something about the play, or did I run it back for
No,
nothing?
no. You know what? No, you guys don't deserve it. You guys don't deserve
He
it.
wants to watch it again. This is amazing.
I'm trying to. I don't even like you guys. I don't even know why I do this show.
I'm just gonna. Whenever it's Ohio State,
Hey,
now,
can
I'm
you
just
run it
gonna
back?
talk negative about any player just to get Jared going.
Well, I'm waiting for my old school comp here for Dobbins.
Oh yeah, which Rams
That's
player
got to
is
be
he?
a thing. Every player, you got to get an old school comp from Waylon.
All right, yeah, a little Lawrence Phillips.
What the fuck?
He's a Rams
Who the
guy.
fuck
Just
is Lawrence Phillips?
Rams guy? I see a little Cleveland Gary to his game.
Hey, that was a good blitz pickup on that play. Blitzing corner.
Yep, good pick up there.
Now, recognition, yes, but wouldn't you guys want him to go meet him a little bit more?
Sure. He
to see that
does
was
not
good.
attack. He does not attack, but he had the awareness to be able to see that coming.
Just go meet him a little bit more. I'd be happy.
And you know what? Honestly, I wonder if he saw that because of the shift in coverage. I don't even know that he saw the corner right away. I think he saw the coverage shift in the secondary, and I think that's what tipped him off. Oof.
Okay, zone.
I mean, it's a solid hole there, for being honest.
Yeah, gets through it. Breaks a tackle. I'd like to see another angle.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he broke it. I mean, the guy was getting blocked too, but not bad.
Doing what he's supposed to do, right?
Right. I'm just saying, like, I don't think this game was that special for the numbers. This is like that Sony Michel game against Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Some pretty big holes.
Good awareness here as a receiver, kind of widening out away from the defender, getting himself a little more open.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's first
Getting out of
awareness.
bounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, man. Silver Sports left his 1990s Rams practice squad players at work. Dude.
Come on, man.
Shaboy J. Rich is in the
You had
house.
one job.
Oh, Jay Rich.
What up, Jay
Dude, Jay
Rich?
Rich has been crushing it, too. I don't know why he's talking about us crushing it. He's been crushing
I
it.
know, right? DDP channel's fire. It's all gas.
I love how Ray is on that show. It's amazing.
I love it.
This was good awareness again. He came all the way back to the opposite side of the pocket there.
Yeah.
To pick up that
Well,
blitzing linebacker.
So he's probably scanning frontside backer to backside backer, in my opinion.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
He
good
got
pickup.
through that trash. That was.
Fields holding onto the ball. What do you know?
Are you talking trash about your franchise player?
Hey, man, he needs to improve
You
that.
have a franchise player in college? Is that a thing?
He's still
I
young.
mean, when you have Justin Fields in your Ohio State, you do. Oh, that's a good cut right there. Watch, he reads that block. See the initial lineman and that DN's going to the outside. He cuts inside of that. That's a good cut.
Yeah.
See, I just like the little stuff, man. I don't like these big plays. I like the little stuff.
No, I agree. That's where you find. That's where you can really grade a player.
Jared,
What?
he just caught that pass.
It's a hell of a
His
catch.
fourth catch.
Look at those hands, man.
Some
He caught
people
his
would give
fourth
him a
catch.
9 in catching just because of that right there.
I was trying to get your good graces again.
So
he can catch a pigskin.
overall, I don't see any glaring hole in his game, and I am trying to be as unbiased because I know that he is not elite in any one area, with maybe the exception of elusiveness, but that's probably biased. But where do you guys see the holes in his game? Because I don't see any glaring ones. There's a few things I'd like to see. I think he could be a little more physical at times. I do think sometimes he could process some things a little bit better. But overall, like I don't see anything glaring that I'm like, ooh, really got to pick that up. What would
Yeah.
you guys say on that?
No, I completely agree. He's a very safe back. Probably looking at late round 1, round 2, probably round 2 draft pick in my opinion.
That last run was really good between the tackles there.
Oh yeah, another good job of getting his pads low through contact.
Broke a lot of arm tackles.
He does that so well.
Yep.
So, well, here's my issue is what is your expectation for him at the next level? Because I think that's almost more important than we're talking game, right? Like where do you see him being in fantasy?
Like where would I rank him, or like what will his NFL role be?
Both.
I legitimately think he's a 3-down back that you could give 15 carries, 18 carries a game to. And I think he'll be in on most third downs. And I think he could be a 6 to 12, RB 6 to 12 in fantasy football for the early portion of his career.
See that I think that's the highest end that he could be. He could also be, I think, because I don't think that he's a great athlete. I think that he could be a player that's RB2s for his better seasons. You could see a lack of power. You could see him not running away from a ton of people, so he's not going to get the big splash plays potentially. And he gets replaced at the end of his rookie contract.
Okay.
So I don't think there's holes to his game, but you also need some special stuff to be a great fantasy back too, you know? And I don't see anything that's special. His most special trait to me is his balance and be able to cut at any time. Like right here, he's under balance and be able to cut all the way there. Not all backs can do that. Right.
Yeah,
Cam
and
Akers doesn't do that.
I think that pad level is something he's very, very good at, and that with that ability allows him to gain 2 to 3 extra yards at a time. So in line running, that's definitely going to help him out. He spots the holes quickly and he hits them. You know, of course, with Ohio State, the holes have been very big from what we've seen so far.
Well, all the ones we're going to see tonight should be pretty big between Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Georgia. All 3 very good offensive lines.
But Wisconsin's the worst one.
Great feel for the game.
Not by a lot.
But Dobbins has a
According
great
to
feel for the
Football
game. Don't you
Outsiders.
guys agree? Like, he's just a very solid running back. Like,
Yeah, solid.
yeah.
But that doesn't get me
I know.
excited. That doesn't
I think
mean, you know.
I think he's low end RB1, high end RB2.
Right. I mean,
Material.
he's my third running back. Like I said, I had those guys like, you know, late RB1-ish to mid RB2-ish.
That's kind of
I
what
think
we
he's
said
an RB2.
coming into this, you know, like, we don't think any of these 3 guys are elite.
Right. But that's
So,
why
it's
that's
good.
why I led the conversation that Garrett asked with like what the expectations are. Like, because we could argue we're in the same range. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
And
think like knowing expectations is important.
I think for all 3 of us, it's going to be like landing spot dependent on where we finally put these guys in our ranks, right?
Oh, any one of these 3 could end up being RB1. Absolutely.
Right. So Garrett, are you looking it up?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up right
Yeah,
now.
I thought Wisconsin was in the 20s. I thought Georgia was in the single digits, and I thought Ohio State was around like 12. Whatever.
I don't want to watch this play.
Oh, is this the interception?
For the record, I love Fields too. Got a lot of field lovers in here.
Oh, you guys are so heartbroken.
Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, or J.K. Dobbins?
All right. Wisconsin was ranked 15th in line yards. Ohio State, let me see, is 8. Georgia's actually the worst at 26.
Georgia.
Oh, okay. I had them switched.
So, but I
So I
mean,
knew one was 20s, one was
all
teams,
still
one was
upper
single.
end offensive lines. It's not like,
Right.
you know, we're looking at Cam Akers or, you know, Keyshawn
Right.
Vaughn or somebody like
But
that.
but most have this perception Wisconsin's like 1 or 2, and they have this huge vast advantage. Ohio, and I would say you're talking about
Georgia.
line, but I would say with Fields and the read
Offense.
option,
I agree.
that helps out Dobbins way more. Like because
Absolutely.
we saw in that Clemson play, the D end went with him and left that huge gap for the big play for a touchdown.
Absolutely.
Look at this man.
If I had to pick between Jacobs, Sanders, or Dobbins, I don't want any of them. I don't love any of those guys. I don't think Jacobs is a long-term huge NFL guy. He got a lot of touches year one, but he got hurt again. He gets hurt a lot. Sanders played a little better than I thought, but he got aided by a lot of receptions. I don't know how long he's going to be a huge fantasy asset.
What do you mean by not wanting any of them though? Because like all three of them are potentially RB1s, high RB2s. With they're
trade him if I
all
have
going to have volume.
You'll trade all of those guys if you had them.
Yep.
I'm good with Sanders. I still like Josh Jacobs a lot, especially if they figure out how to utilize him in the passing game more, which was arguably his best attribute. So to draft a player like that and not use him in that way is silly to me. But